Alright, real quick before I get onto the video, I saw a fan edit yesterday, and I thought it did a pretty good job of cutting out a sequence from BVS. Now, I like BVS, I love it to death, everything about it, but if Warner Brothers wanted to shorten up the movie, this is what they should have did. I'm going to put a link to the guy's fan edit in the description, so you can go ahead and download that zip file. It's a zip file, so you're going to have to unzip it, but I'm sure you guys can figure that out. You're very intelligent people. Now, what he did with his fan edit was very simple. He just cut out the Lois Lane subplot with the bullet, and it actually moves the film along a lot faster. And I'm shocked Warner Brothers didn't do this for the theatrical release, because it shortens the movie to about 2.5 hours, which is exactly like the runtime they had for theaters. So, I mean, if you're going to cut out anything, it might as well be that subplot, you know? Even though I think it works for the film, I think it's great. I still love the film as it is with the Ultimate Edition. But if you wanted a shorter version, I would suggest this fan edit, because it gets rid of a subplot that's not exactly crucial to the overarching grand story, you know? And it does it without taking anything away from the rest of the film. So, a good job on the guy who made it. Anyway, onto the video. And I'm sure you've already seen Film Junkie's video where he was talking about all these Reddit leaks about the DCEU and what was going on behind the scenes. And surprisingly, I saw this probably like a day before Film Junkie made that video on Vero, funny enough. You know, Vero is kind of useful, you know? It's not like a completely useless app. I get a lot of information on that, surprising amount. And I first saw all these Reddit leaks on a Vero account by the name of Rena Official, and she just posted all the Reddit pages and stuff. And I'm not going to go over every single rumor or leak, because Film Junkie already did that, and he already talked about that. And there's something about the way Film Junkie is talking about these leaks, like he knows something, and he doesn't want to say something, and he's even said that he knows something, but he can't say anything. And I'm just wondering, like, why? You know, why can't he say anything? It's not like he's getting paid by a corporation or working for some kind of media outlet. Like, he doesn't have to stay quiet about anything. I don't understand why he has to not say where he's getting his information. I mean, he doesn't have to say the person's name, but he's got to give us something more than, oh, I know something, you know? It's getting a little frustrating, but I'm still super interested to see what Film Junkie knows about this. But anyway, let me get on to the ones that interest me the most. And the first section, where it's talking about Time Warner and the AT&T merger, and how there's going to be no executive changes, or there might be a lot of changes. So that makes me think that this person that's writing this doesn't really know what's going on. But we all know that this merger is happening, you know, and this might be a reason why DC and Warner Brothers are staying quiet about, you know, everything. You know, they're not even promoting Aquaman yet. The movie comes out in December. They're not even promoting it yet. So this merger is definitely slowing down Warner Brothers right now. They're trying to make sure they got everything squared away before they start actually moving forward with anything. Who knows? They might actually want to work on the Snyder Cut, but they just got to get through this AT&T merger first. That might be what's holding up everything. So, you know, that was the first thing that interests me. And the next thing was about how Jeonse and Zack Snyder both wanted Justice League to be longer, but at the same time, they also had creative issues, especially with Superman's characterization and speeding up the universe. Now, I wonder if Jeonse really had an issue with Superman's characterization, right? Because he signed off on Man of Steel, you know? He was fine with that. He was fine with Batman vs. Superman. You know, all of a sudden, he has a problem with the characterization, even though Superman in Justice League is closer to the Superman, you know? It's not the same Superman from BVS, right? He grows, he develops, he evolves. And, you know, Jeonse had a problem with that? I don't see Jeonse having a problem with that. I don't see Zack Snyder having a problem with that, you know? Like, that seems odd. And this one little sentence kind of gives me hope that Jeonse actually was on Zack Snyder's side the whole time, and he was trying to make the movie longer. But as I've been saying for a while, Jeonse has no power. Like, people could say he has power. He has nothing. You know what I'm saying? He is the chief creative officer of DC. You know, he has no say what happens with these films. I believe that. You know, like, he doesn't have a say how the script turns out. He doesn't have a say in who gets cast. He's just there to nod his head and give the okay. That's all he's there for. And I think he wanted a longer movie. Who doesn't want a longer movie? You know, if you have 3 hours of film, yeah, you want that movie to go out. So I believe that part for sure. And, if this is true, it kind of makes me think that Jeff Jeonse was definitely on Zack Snyder's side. And I like to, think of Jeff Jeonse in a good light because he's wrote some of the greatest comic book story arcs, I've ever read. So, I hope it's true. Because, his name is really getting dragged through the dirt after Justice League and everything. And it really wasn't his fault. Like, how much say could he have possibly have had, Between the Warner Brothers executives and Joss Whedon, like, how much say did Jeff Jeonse have? Did he have any say? I think he was just there to be an observer, like, that's it. But anyway, on to the next one. That interests me. Because some of these are kind of like bullshit. Like, one that says many people in the studio believe Justice League was never going to be made. And the studio was divided on what to do. Are you kidding me right now? Like, of course it was going to be made. Who thought it wasn't going to be made? Like, they were already almost 2 years in production on it. Of course it was going to get made. Like, that's like such an out there thing to say. But anyway, the next thing, Joss Whedon had complete creative control. Now, I tend to think that this is true because look how the movie came out, Look at all the added scenes and the complete change in direction midway through that film. Like, if he didn't have complete creative control, then Warner Brothers was making all these decisions, and they were making a lot of bad decisions. And they didn't do that with BVS, and they didn't do that with Man of Steel to the extent, like, of what happened with Justice League. So it makes me think that maybe Joss Whedon had a lot more creative control than he should have had, But maybe Warner Brothers was just worried that the film needed to be lighter, so that's why they gave Joss Whedon more control to do it. At least that's what I'm thinking. Again, I have no information, I'm just like a regular dude. I don't know anything. I'm just on the outside looking in, right? But on to the next one that was hard to believe, and that's Jeff Jeonse and others moved on to Aquaman and other projects when they knew Justice League was a sinking ship and they didn't want their names attached. Well, they did a really shitty job of that because Jeff Johns' name was still attached, still in the credits. You can't not attach yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you kidding me? Like, all these people were in on Justice League, Jeff Johns, John Berg, they were all in it. They didn't distance themselves from it. They were there opening night. They were on the red carpet, like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. So, that one seems like complete horseshit. And then you get one that sounds completely true, like Henry Cavill actually liked Joss Whedon's take on Superman, and Ezra Miller and Ray Fisher hated their characters and how the movie played out. I believe that, because Henry Cavill actually said that he liked Josh's Superman. But I think Henry Cavill was just being nice. He was just being an actor. He was doing what he was supposed to do, and that's sell the film, right? What's he going to do on the red carpet when somebody asks him about Joss Whedon's take on Superman? Is he going to say it's the worst interpretation of Superman ever? No. He's going to say he likes it. So obviously, I don't think he genuinely liked it. And as for Ezra and Ray, I really believe that they hated how their characters played out, because I hate how their characters played out. I think anyone that watches the movie can see that Cyborg and Flash had way more to do than what they got, And I'm sure the actors were pissed about that because they knew all the scenes they shot and everything that was cut out. So I'm sure they were pissed about that too. But on to the next one, and that's Patty Jenkins didn't want Joss Whedon attached to anything that she was doing with Wonder Woman, right? That's a funny one because I'm sure Patty Jenkins didn't voice her concerns at all. I'm sure she didn't say anything because she's busy working on Wonder Woman. She probably wasn't paying that much attention to what was happening on Justice League. That's probably, honestly what happened. Because she's already in pre-production on Wonder Woman, So, she cares what happens with Wonder Woman and Justice League, but it's not going to really affect what she's already doing in Wonder Woman, But, I'm sure she didn't like it. But, it might be hard to believe that she actually voiced her concerns about that. Once again, we don't know anything, No one's come out and confirmed any of this. This is all just rumors. This is all just leaks and rumors. They're not actually true until somebody says they're true. But on to the big one. The big one out of this whole thing, and that's about Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. Big detail is that the studio doesn't want to invest any more resources on it, but they will allow Zack Snyder to work on it. That seems accurate. Because Zack Snyder is always talking about Batman vs. Superman and Justice League. He's always talking about these films. He loves these fucking films. Alright? He wants to finish Justice League. I guarantee you he wants to finish it. And he has his own production company, Cruel and Unusual Films. So he could finish editing it, finish the special effects with his own production company. Of course, that would take a lot more time to do, right? And as the next rumor says, don't expect the cut to be available anytime soon. It still requires work. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind waiting an extra year or an extra 2 years as long as we get the actual cut that's finished to some extent. I mean, look at the rest of the CGI in the movie. Like, we don't need perfect CGI. You know what I'm saying? It's just got to be passable. And I'm sure Zack could do that. I'm sure he could do that. I have all the faith in the world he could do that. Especially after what he did on 300. I mean, look at the behind the scenes on 300. We're talking one green screen, 6 dudes, and they make it look like 10,000 people. If anyone is capable of making special effects for cheap and making them look good, it's Zack Snyder and his production company. Those are the people that could pull this off. So, if those rumors are true, then I'm definitely believing that the Snyder Cut is going to happen probably next year, or we'll get some announcement at the end of this year. Either way, we are going to get some kind of word on this at some point this year. Probably not San Diego Comic-Con. Don't get your hopes up for Comic-Con. I highly doubt they're going to announce a Justice League cut at Comic-Con. It's just not going to happen. Maybe at the end of this year, after Aquaman, or, at some point, they are going to talk about it. Zack Snyder's going to talk about it again. I mean, he's yet to really talk about Justice League at all. Like, at all. He only talks about it when he's showing pictures that weren't in the film. And he's like, oh, I shot this. That wasn't in the film. I shot this. That wasn't in the film. So he's definitely still thinking about it. And if he's still thinking about it, he might be working on it as we're speaking, But anyway, that gives me a lot of hope. And I hope the Snyder Cut actually happens, because this seems very accurate. It just sounds true. But there was a couple more. Aquaman's concept art is rad. I'm sure it was. Every fucking concept art on every movie is pretty rad, alright? It all depends on how the movie actually gets made and what it looks like in the end. Warner Brothers talking to many directors. They are a major production company, so yes, they're always talking to directors of this caliber, like Quentin Tarantino, Ridley Scott, David Yates, they're always talking to these guys anyway, for any movie. And if they got Quentin Tarantino to make a DC film, I would lose my mind. That'd be awesome. And Ben Affleck staying or leaving, he doesn't know. Fucking hell. We have to keep going over Ben Affleck staying as Batman. How many times we got to go over that? Who cares about that? But the last thing of this whole leaked rumor mill post thing, is Black Adam being in Suicide Squad 2 is just not true. Simply not true. 100% I believe that. I think it would be retarded to have Black Adam in a Suicide Squad film. He does not fit at all. He is uber powerful. He would destroy everyone in the Suicide Squad like nothing. Okay? It's like if the squad went up against Darkseid or something, It's like they have no fucking chance. And from the live stream that we saw of Zachary Levi, it might be possible that we're going to get a Black Adam solo film. I would definitely look forward to that. And that would definitely make a whole lot of sense. A Black Adam solo film taking place in ancient Egypt. We see him get his powers. We see him go from a good man to a corrupt person, because power corrupts, Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's what the whole theme of the movie could be. And you could see his downfall. And then you have the Shazam movie coming out before that, so you know who Shazam is. And then they culminate in a big showdown. Shazam versus Black Adam film. I think that is what everybody kind of wants to see, right? That's what everybody wants to see right now. So yeah, Black Adam should not be in Suicide Squad 2. I don't care what anyone says. That's a dumb idea. He's a good enough character to have his own film. Alright, so yeah, that's it for now. Bunch of Reddit rumors. If you want to hear somebody go through every single one of them, go to Film Junkie's channel. Check out his video. He goes through every single bullet point. And it seems like he's hiding something. It seems like he knows something he doesn't want to tell us. I hope it's positive. I just hope it's a good thing he's hiding. But anyway. Yep, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Comment below. Let me know what you think about all these Reddit posts. If it's coming from Reddit, I automatically think that it's a 50% not true. Just automatically, because it's coming from Reddit. And depending on how it sounds and how it's worded, some of these things, that determines whether or not I think it's true or not, you know. But once again, I'm just somebody on the outside looking in. I have no fucking idea. And what do y'all think about it? Which ones do you think are true? Which ones excite you the most? Comment below. Let me know what you think. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Okay? Check out that BVS fan edit if you know how to unzip a file. Right? Yeah, that's it for now. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.